say congratulations to the 152 fellows graduating today, because it's because of you that we are here. It's your day, so congrats, and no doubt you're ready to fly. You, like your predecessors before you, have been tailor-trained in 12 thematic areas. As have been told you, you know the ice, fade, and chip being CCHIP. And that is your roadmap. That's your toolbox containing your toolkits. These 12 areas of valuable and foundational attitudes and dispositions in business and functionally productive life endeavors are value added in every way. And they give you the tools for becoming influencers and change agents to your peers and to all of us in society. And so it makes us particularly encouraged, and I hope and believe more so for our country, especially at this time, because what we see here is one practical and lasting way to curb youth unemployment and its attendant worrisome societal and ultimately national malaise. The proper training of our youth in skill development and empowerment helps curb vices that emanate from and probably are induced by boredom and lack. And the training therefore enhances our internal peace, tranquility, and the Gambian sense of security, that which we have always cherished and been known for as a people, as a country, and that which we trust will save us from a possible spiral down into a societal self-destruct. So this training is commendable, and except my eyes don't serve me well, I probably personally would have wished more of the executive to be seated here. My role this morning to you, the 152, is to encourage you, challenge you, and fire you up to excel. So I speak primarily to you. Also, I carry in my heart the alumni, the staff, the prospective new intake cohort, and everyone else, including and especially those of our international online guests, participants, and the audience who we can't see, but we know are watching, are listening, and are participating. Help me to welcome them, please. So the year is 2071. You are now in your 70s, quadrant 4. You are taking stock and you are looking back at your life proudly or wishing ... because posterity is now speaking loudly to you about opportunities, open doors, chances that came your way in the prime of your life that you utilized well, or unfortunately missed out repeatedly. How do you avoid this from happening to you almost in a generational cycle? How do you avoid saying, if I had known, I could have, I should have, I would have. If I have time, I'll turn the clock backwards. Because, ladies and gentlemen, opportunities knock on the doors and the minds, the lives, and the decision-making processes of each one of us every day. And only those who open those doors and windows and grab the opportunities never regret. Because the quickest path to a life of regrets, drudgery, and bitterness, maybe even poverty and stagnation, is procrastination. I will do it tomorrow. I will start next week, next month. I can't do it because of the pandemic, Ebola, Thomas Cook, the rainy season, the upcoming elections, and on and on and on. You know, if you're 40 years today, and you do nothing in the next 12 years, you will still be 52. Tomorrow never comes. At best, today is yesterday's tomorrow. And tomorrow, today will be the yesterday we talked about now. So it never comes. In my growing up days as a young Gambian boy, as my memory serves me, almost everyone at the top of any organization, institution, or enterprise here in the Gambia, and possibly around the world, whether in civil service or in the private sector, was always in their late 50s or early 60s. It kind of gave us the impression that your best only showed up when you were 60. Not very encouraging for you. But that has radically changed over the last 2 decades, globally. Or maybe I should qualify it, except in one particular continental political sphere, where the people are holding on strong and not wanting to relinquish power. But here we are. Globally, it is changing. And with 152 of you, we can see average age or range 18 to 30. We've seen indigenous startups, ingenious startups. You go to the trade fair, you see things that warm your heart because Gambian young people are rising up. Last year, I was privileged to be one of 7 judges at the Heroes Award by the Fatu Network. And when we were going through all the nominations and shortlisting, there were 1,538 entries. It took us from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. And all of those ones qualified. You know, you have a problem when a university wants to accept you when you only have A grades. But they only have space for 10, and there are 47 A's. Then A becomes different because there are A's which are A's that escaped B+, and there are A's which are A's because they're A's. But it was such a joy. 1,538 entries, sir, of Gambian young people doing things by themselves. And let me borrow from Mr. Njai, doing things by themselves, sponsoring themselves, and not always stretching their hands for help. But it is one thing to start. Fellows, it is another thing to fan the flames of your startup and to find the wisdom to navigate the turns, the curves, and especially the unknown and uncharted transitions. See, everybody can drive a car straight. It's when you need to turn that you need training. And as your businesses grow, you will transition. Just over 2 weeks ago, I did a training for managers from one of our local banks in public speaking and presentation. And I was asking them, how do you handle it when somebody comes and wants a loan and takes a loan and ticks all the marks in the box, but he goes to marry a second wife? And when he cannot pay, I was asking them, do you repossess the wife and sell her to recover your money? Because transitions will come. New cars, business class, living in Bruford Heights. How do you manage these transition turns so that at the end of the day, in 2071, you are looking back and not covering your head in shame? And not just for us here, but for those of us online as well. Here are my few suggestions to you. Number one, I believe you must understand, recognize, and make good use of time and opportunity. T&O, time and opportunity. A wise man said, and I read, In my old age, I looked at life and I considered everything under the sun. And I concluded, the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor even bread to wise people. And riches and wealth are not given because you have understanding, nor favor because you are skillful. I know people who are talented and severely broke. So it's not because you are skillful that makes you wealthy. And finally he said, I realized that the difference, the decider, is how they use time and opportunity. The wise man goes on to say, I went by the field of a lazy person and by the vineyard of a person devoid of understanding. And there it was, all overgrown with thorns. Its surface was covered with nettles. Its stone wall was broken. When I saw it, I considered it very well. I looked on it and I received instruction and counsel for my own life. And I concluded, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands, and poverty will come to you. Time and opportunity have been given to us all. And for you that we celebrate today, years of toil, of academic achievement, of financial ability have been squeezed in 1 year and poured into your lives free of charge. Even data, megabytes, were given to you to follow the lectures online. What will you do with time? Because we all have it in equal amount. Every 60 seconds is a minute. Every 60 minutes is an hour. Any 24 of those hours is a day. And every 168 hours is a week. Even a year. Every year we have an extra 1/4 of a day, 6 hours, given to you. And together they make up our days, our nights, and our seasons. So there is no excuse to say you don't have time. We all have time. It's how we utilize time. We all have opportunity. In this hall here today, there is massive opportunity. Around these grounds, there is opportunity. Years ago, we called it the Monkey Park. Today, it's called an international conference center. Opportunity. Its grounds can be taken care of better than it looks. Opportunity. Because opportunity is like a man with a lot of hair, afro hair, in front of him. And he's coming by you and you love his hair and you feel you're going to take a piece of his hair, but you procrastinate. And when he passes by you, you look at the back of his head and it looks like my own. There is no hair. So you cannot grab opportunity from the back. There is nothing. It's gone. But we all have it. Across our border, just over a week ago, there was a YouTube video that I saw of a gentleman taking oil drum barrels, empty oil drum barrels, 55-gallon oil drum barrels, taking his tools and transforming them into restaurant chairs, sitting room furniture, bedroom furniture, empty barrels, barigo. And suddenly their value has gone up. Yet I also know in my country that there are people who are multi-talented but disorganized. So opportunity passes them by over and over. And because nature abhors a vacuum, other people jump into that opportunity space, and even if it's passive income, it becomes something for them, adding value to their multiple streams for their life. And they get to quadrant 4, and they do not have the kinds of concerns that Dr. Cole talked about. I know people, recently somebody was being challenged to activate their passion and their ability with respect to a 4.5-minute speech given by somebody. And what this person didn't know was that I had set aside $100, not much, but good enough, to just help the person. And the assignment was before Ramadan. We finished Ramadan, finished Korite, we are now registering to vote. 4.5 minutes, nothing was done. And people say, we don't have opportunity. We don't have opportunity. Opportunity comes to us all the time. Take hold of opportunity. Make good use of time. There are two Greek words for time. One, almost every person here knows, it's chronos, C-H-R-O-N-O-S, from where we have chronometer or chronology. It's repeated, predictable time. So if I stand here 24 hours later, I will still be found here at 12:14 p.m., except it will be another day. And sometimes the problem with that is because it is expected, it is preempted, you are not passionate for it. But inside that chronological time, there is another Greek word called kairos, K-A-I-R-O-S. Kairos is an opportunity that just comes. It's a window that just came. You met somebody, they're on their way to the airport, and they give you their business card, get in touch with me, and you go home, but you want to watch Manchester United. Shows you where your priorities are. I believe if you use this 12 theme areas, each one of you, and like Mr. Njai said, even if you use one, integrity, it can open doors for you that money cannot buy. Just integrity. If you use passion, a lot of the things you see about Mr. Njai is his passion. Somebody who dared to believe against all odds that it is possible. He can change the landscape, add value to the nation. Passion. If you take that passion and make it infectious, it will help you. What about honesty? You will never be called before a commission of inquiry. Number two, not only must you know time and opportunity, I want you to have a transformer's mindset. Think out of the box. Break the box. Create new paradigms. Create new atmospheres. The good book says, as a person thinks in their heart, so they are. There are people you can tell 10 things about life, and they'll give you 45 reasons why it will never work. It's just where, that's just them. That's just them. And while they're giving you the 45, 80 people are doing exactly what they told you was not possible. And I don't know whether this is an English word, but you must be helpable for us to help you. Have that mindset that you can do something. You can change something. Even if you made a mistake in your business, start again. One of the joys of having mentors and the honorable people that lectured you, it's not because people have no problems in life. But I would not want somebody who never failed, never had a problem, was never betrayed, was never maligned to come and mentor me in life because, you know, I don't feel you. But the people who taught you have sat where you are sitting now. And therefore, they're able to empathize with you and tell you that we were once here, but we rose above where we are, so you can also do the same thing. Never be a quitter, because quitters never win. And never say never. I'll tell you one of 3 stories, and this is the first one. If you notice sometimes in the 400-meter race, let's say men, and there are 8 nationalities. The Gambia, let's say Nigeria, Jamaica, Kenya, Great Britain. And so they start. The gun is shot and they go. And by the time they are getting to the last turn, the Gambian is ahead, or the Nigerian. I know those of you online will be screaming Nigeria. All right. So the Nigerian is ahead. And then the Jamaican is number 2. And the American is number 3. And the Kenyan is number 4. And you, the Kumba Banjul, Samba Banjul, you are number 5. And you know how it is when they are coming to the finishing line, everybody is screaming and shouting. But you know that there are only 3 medals, gold, silver, and bronze. So you that is number 5, you are pressing in to beat the guy who is number 4 from Kenya. And he lets you overtake him because he's saying to you, where are you going to? There are only 3 medals here. And so the winners are declared. Online, you wanted the Nigerians to be first, so Nigeria number 1, Jamaica number 2, Britain number 3, and you Gambian that beat the Kenyan, you are number 4. But nothing. So they give them a bouquet, they give them their medals. The green, white, green flag is hoisted, the national anthem is played. 5 days later, they come out and tell you that power-enhancing drugs were discovered in the urine sample of the number 1. I wouldn't mention the nation. And once that happens, that person is disqualified from their position and their medal is taken from them. So number 2 now wears the gold. Number 3 wears the silver. And the Kenyan is holding his head saying, Bumayegon, if I had known, I would have just pressed him, because number 4 now becomes number 3, who is the Gambian. What I'm saying is that it's never over until it's over. Failure is not a person. Failure is an event. As a matter of fact, failure is part of the success process. Number 3, dare to be different. If anything gripped my heart when I graduated and came back in 1988, was that I knew I was different. And I'm still different. Dare to be different. The day I was privileged to be working with TAF on the property Reef TAF in River State, I talk about it because it was so funny. He was on the right, I was on the left, and between us were 2 armed Nigerian policemen. And I looked at him, I thought, isn't this interesting? 2 Gambians are being protected by 2 Nigerian policemen. But at that time, his country had thrown him out. And if you've ever been there and you see that land, it's marshy, it's muddy, it's something where all right-thinking people do not build a structure. Because consensus orthodoxy tells you it's impossible. But if you dare to be different, carpenters, masons, if you dare to be different, what happens is that you open a new paradigm. And yes, you become the guinea pig for everybody, because they now believe, TAF Def Nako, it can be done. Pastor Forbes has done it, it can be done. But you have to dare. You have to dare. That's the word. You have to dare to be different. Ladies, you have to dare to be different. Don't wait to be married by somebody. Dare to be different first. We are being told of 1 million homes across Africa in the next 20 years. You know what that means? It means 50,000 homes every year. When people tell you that, you know, you build in your mind's eye their structure. You expect them to be as big as Shaquille O'Neal. And then when you meet him, you know he's nowhere near Shaquille O'Neal. I remember many, many years ago in the former republic, I had a meeting and I went to the office of the president. I was actually meeting with the former president then. And all the soldiers were, Pastor Forbes, discovering the truth. Yeah, Pastor Forbes. And there was this cleaner lady. I'm sure she thought I am not Gambian. I don't speak Wolof. And she just said, "Hai ndeke kinila gate." For those of you who don't understand, said, "Is this how short he is? Because behind the TV screen you look so big." Fatu, you are not the only one. She was shocked. So the depth of your vision is not in your height. It is the intensity of what is biting you to be a change agent for your country and for him, for our continent, and for the world. Listening to him on Tuesday, being interviewed by Peter Gomez on Coffee Time, "Sir, I heard you say you always look for challenges and you conquer them and turn them into opportunities." That's what you should do. That's what we should all do. But remember, his story is not without a challenge. And your story will not be without challenge. Nobody's story here, no matter how we airbrush them, we all have challenges because the challenges push you. You know, ladies and gentlemen, your friends will never take you to your next level. Are you ready for this? Your enemies take you to your next level. They tell you who you are not, and they make something rise up in you that make you tell yourself, "I can do it, I will do it, if not for anything else, to prove to him, her, them, and myself that it can be done." So be happy less with your friends and look for more. We celebrate TAF. I celebrate him personally. We celebrate him sub-regionally, continentally, globally. And yet when you see him, you see a humble man, approachable, somebody never hiding secrets, always lifting up his own kith and kin, a true Pan-Africanist in every sense of the word. Congratulations, sir. Let me ask you, especially those of you online from Nigeria, and in this hall, how many non-Nigerian African names do you know of in Nigeria? Nigeria is big. 200 million people. So for you to edge your way through those big names and shoot up and touch the top magazines, there must be something about you. Because Nigeria is huge. And that's why I take issue when I read about indices that don't make sense to me. One of them is that the percentage unemployment in Nigeria is 8%. 8% unemployed, gari-eating Nigerians? No way. 8% of Nigeria is 16 million. And truth be told is, the day you find an unemployed Nigerian, come and show me. They are selling water, they are even negotiating from their mother's womb. Very proactive, and so must we be. Number 4, second to last. Or let me make it my last. Please learn to collaborate. When you look at people you admire, try and look for some things that are key in their lives. With TAF, apart from his generosity, his simplicity, his largesse, is how he truly exemplifies the things we talk about in conferences about being Africa, one passport and all that. He exemplifies it so naturally in his life, in the people he deals with, and his employment. I'm going to leave you with 2 examples that I pray will never, ever leave your heart. For those of you, the 152 fellows, and for the rest of us. Number 1. Many of us, probably everybody here, has played this game, musical chairs, before. You know musical chairs? Maybe you have like 10 contestants and 9 chairs. The chairs face in opposite directions, and the aim is for one person to win, and at every turn and round, one chair is removed. And so you have this 10, maybe kids, and the music is being played and played and played, and the music stops, and they all sit down, and one child misses a chair. More often than not, the child goes crying, and the mom will say, "Don't worry, it's not about winning, it's about participating." That's the lie you told your children, or the truth. And you do that, and you keep removing one chair until 2 contestants are left and 1 chair. And hopefully, if the DJ has no interest in the 2 people, he will close his eyes and stop the music, and the winner sits on a chair. Now, that is what we all learned. It's the capitalist, colonial, musical chair we were given. There is another form in a Southeastern Asian country I will not want to name. In their own type, you still have 10 contestants, 9 chairs, and then they are told, when the music stops, the child that cannot sit on a chair disqualifies you all. So when the music stops, 9 children are sitting, and 1 child tells the other child, come and sit by my chair. Collaboration. So they take away 1 chair. There are 8 chairs and 10 participants, contestants. And the music plays and stops, and 8 sit, and of course 2 are standing, and they are called, come and Kaimamela talk, Randall Mama talk. The Nigerians will say shift, dress. I go 7, 6, 5, until there is 1 chair left. And how many contestants? 10. How they do it, I do not know. In Wolof, we have a word called langamu. There is a way you have to adjust. But the import here is that if I am going to succeed, then everybody else in my team must succeed. It's a win-win mentality. And if I should tell you the name of that country, you'll say, no wonder they are successful in every possible matrix that you know of. Thank you. My wife, somebody just said Japan. Thank you. That is it. It's a win-win. But let me leave you with my final example. How many of you know who the world record holder for the 100 meters men's sprint is? Usain Bolt. What is his timing? 9.58 seconds. So that means anybody who does 9.57999 will beat him. Nobody has broken that record since 2009. 9.58 seconds. The world record hold for the 4x100 men's relay is held by which team? The Jamaican team. Carter and other people, including Bolt himself. Now, do you know what their score is? Their timing is 36.84 seconds. Pick out your calculator and do the math. 4 men, including Usain Bolt, who clocked 9.58 and holds the world title, 4 men have run in 36.84 seconds. If you do the math, you come out to 9.21. 37 seconds faster than Usain Bolt's world record. So even in his team, he ran faster than when he ran alone. Need I tell you, this is not rocket science, that the speed, the average speed of a team that is together, that is bound together, that understands collaboration, that understands that I don't have to be Mandinka, Aku, Zimbabwean, I don't have to come from Senegal, but if we say we are African, and if we say we are Gambian, and hold one passport together, if we collaborate and work together, we will win, and our speed will be faster than the fastest individual runner in the Gambia. Let me leave you with that, fellows. Run together. Leave these premises with that in your mind. Run together. Make TAF proud. Make TAFLA proud. Make TAF Africa Global proud. And make this our sweet smiling coast proud. and make your families proud, because you understand that none of us is as good as all of us put together. And let's trample tribalism, trample all these things on foot, work together as one people under one God, and bring the levels of prosperity and success that we have never seen. 37 seconds. If only he knew. 9.21 as opposed to 9.58. You can do better when you do it together. I wish you well. I pray God blesses you all. I pray that you prosper in everything that you do. And in your prosperity, please remember TAF. And don't forget me.